Once you've uploaded your fee schedule into the system, you may want to think about customizing your fee schedule. Now, here are a couple examples of how you can customize your fee schedule in order to make the process of creating care plans much, much easier. When we open up the fee schedule tab, we can actually see all of our codes here. Now, this is a very, very simplified version of just code, simple description, and fee with the exceptions. Now, what we want to do is, let's say we created this one first and we want to go ahead and add a fee schedule for, let's say, Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Well, the first thing we would do is hit the add button to add more codes. So the first code we'll add will be 99201. Then we'll put in BCBS. We'll label all of these as BCBS. Then we'll put in exam. And then what we'll do is we'll put in the actual fee. So when you go to choose the code, you'll see the fee before it populates into the care plan itself. And we go ahead and put $43 in the fee box. And let's add another one. What we're going to add now is another 99201. But this time we're going to add 99201 with BCBS as the first word, and then put the word exam with the word copay, so that you can see there is an exam for full fee. There's also the copay for that exam. So you can now create care plans either based on the full fee or based on the copay. The other way you could manage your fee schedule is to download what you've already created and then pull it up in this Excel spreadsheet. When you pull it up as an Excel spreadsheet, now you can edit it. So let's do the same thing we did before. We put in 99201, we put in the fee of $43, we put in BCBS, exam, and $43. And we do the same thing again with the 99201, the $8.60, and then the BCBS exam copay, $8.60. Now this will upload in the order that you write it in. So if you have codes that are kind of everywhere, insert a line, move it down, tighten up the order of them. That way, when you go to put the word in the search box on the care plan, they'll show up in the order in which you would normally select them. Remember, if we're working in Excel, we want to download the form as a CSV file. We would usually like to just import over the top of this, but we can't. Remember, if we import while there are codes here, what's going to happen is we're going to add to the code. So you may end up with duplicates. What you're supposed to do is then delete all of the codes that are currently on the screen. Now, one of the things you could do is work on just BCBS and just add that to your fee schedule. So you could have your normal fee schedule like we see on the screen, only work on BCBS and just add them in chunks. That way you wouldn't have to delete anything. So you just add to the bottom. But remember, when we go to import, it's going to add and not overwrite anything. Now that we've saved everything, let's go ahead and create a care plan. So we hit care type, add care type, we put in number of units, and now we can search in the code box. So we put in BCBS, now we can see BCBS codes, only those show up, and we could see the fee. So we put in exam, you can see here that only the first word shows up. So exam 99201 exam shows up. So remember, when we search, it's only going to be the first word. But if you put the code in, then the code will show all of the different versions. And before we end, let me talk about the reason why you may want to put in the exam and the exam with copay as we see here on the screen. Now, if we put in the exam and there is deductible that has not been met, we're going to want to charge our full fee. If the patient's deductible has been met, you can still use the full fee. You're just going to have to make sure that you put in something for the estimated insurance payments to balance out what the patient's true out-of-pocket is. Now, if you're not sure, then what you could do is you could just put in the exam copay, assuming insurance is going to pay everything else, to balance out what the patient's true out-of-pocket is.